What is going on, internet friends? How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing absolutely sensational as per always. Welcome back to, should we call it weekly? Are we going to commit and say a weekly forum? I think this may be the week. Maybe it's because I'm in a good mood. Welcome back to my weekly forum where we discuss the issues, things that might concern me, concern you, or anything in between, because the truth of the matter is that one day I'll get it right. I do not have all the answers, and neither do you, but together through open-minded conversation, I'm sure we can come up with a couple of solutions. Before we even start, I just want to say I'm very, very grateful for this little series of Let's Chat. I didn't realize how much I needed it. I'll be honest, I didn't realize how much I needed to vent and let things into the ether. And I didn't realize how many people would actually be watching it back and like interacting and conversing. And I've had some really deep conversations with people, and it's like, it's more than usual, you know what I mean? Like, I've been doing this YouTube thing for like very long, and I've always said I just do it for the enjoyment. I don't do it for the numbers or whatever. And in that, you know, you get cool opportunities to speak to people, and people come forward and they say, thank you for that video, it did X, Y, and Z for me. And that's always very cool, and it's very nice to know that, you know, people resonate. Like, it's good to know that you're a human being and there are other human beings sharing in the same human experience. But over this very short period of time, there's been like a lot of feedback, and I really appreciate that. I got a message this morning that I woke up to on Instagram, and I smiled a lot. Like, it really made my morning. Yeah, it really made my morning, and it makes me want to do this more. You know, it makes me want to do this more. And how am I doing, like, in general? It feels selfish of me to say, and this is one of the things I've been struggling with, but I'm doing good. I'm doing better than I have been in a long time. I'm doing okay. Now, I need to preface this, and I feel like it's important that I do, by starting to say, the whole concept of this Let's Chat has been difficult for me to put together in my mind, because I don't know how to frame it, right? Because I know how flawed I am. Like, I've been wanting to speak about self-awareness. You know, self-love is key. Being self-aware, but truly self-aware. And it's not to say that I've reached the highest form of self-awareness. Like, there's still a lot of things that I'm still learning and relearning about myself. You know, there's still a lot of things that I want to understand. Why do I do so many things wrong? Why are my bad flaws so bad? Like, you know, so it's not to say that I'm self-aware and I'm perfect. That's not it. But what I do know about myself is that there are certain situations where I'm true and I'm honest, and I know what my intentions are. And I'm honest with myself, right? An easy example is alcohol. I only drink once on my birthday, famously, and it's because I'm very self-aware. I know I have an addictive personality. I know that I take things too far. I know that I will over-enjoy. I know that is not a good recipe for me. You know, people always say you need to try things, and we spoke about it, and we touched on it in previous Let's Chats. You know, people around you will say try this and do that, and it's not because they don't like you or they have bad intentions for you. But you have to be self-aware, you know. I use the example of like being in the streets and being in my doing me era. Like, no one really understands. And again, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that I know better than anyone else. I'm just saying that for me, I'm aware that doesn't fulfill me, that doesn't serve me. That'll move to hurt more people than it would serve, right? I think in this life, as a young person, it's very, very, very easy to get lost in the sauce, right? I'm currently, some might say I'm lost in the sauce. What does that even mean? Like, you just lost in the craziness of life. It's easy to be like on the hunt for material things. I still am. It's dark in here. Is that better? I'm fully aware how dark it is. Okay, just for now. It's easy to get lost in things if you don't know what it is that you really want, right? So I'll give an example, and it's an example that I've used in the past, right? The hooking up phase era thing, right? Everyone says you have to go through that phase and you have to do this and you have to do that, but for me, and again, this is just me, I'm not saying I'm perfect, not saying I'm right, and I could very well be wrong, right? That wouldn't serve me. That wouldn't do anything for me, right? That would actually empty me more than it would fill me. And I've seen other people in their I'm doing me era, and they push people away. Right? They push people away, and the thing about all those types of things is that the people who will reaffirm you, your friends, your close ones, whatever, if they're in the same cycle as you, obviously they're going to reaffirm you, right? Obviously they're going to reaffirm you. And it comes down to you to know yourself better than anyone else in the room. And you can only do that by conversing and exploring through, well, for me, again, this is how I handle these things, through conversation and truly getting in depth with people. You know, I had a conversation a while ago with someone, and it didn't go well. And again, I need to be self-aware and say maybe my questions were not framed right, maybe I didn't ask them in sensitive ways. But when I want to know someone, right, I like to think that I enter conversations as open book as I can, in the sense that there are few questions people can ask me that I won't try and answer as honestly as I can, because hell, I'm a human being on this earth. My story is not that exciting. Like, judge me if you're gonna judge me, don't if you won't. And that's kind of how it is. I like conversing, you know, and I have realized that the best way for me to get the truth out of people is for me to be truthful. And I was speaking to this person, and they got quite offended, like, in this conversation, and I could see there was just like maybe a lack of self-love. You see, even that sounds very aggressive, but there was clearly a lack of self-love, because the things that I was pointing out were things that they had not read, and I'm the same. There's many things that people point out to me that I didn't realize. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I did that. But that's how you learn. You don't learn by immediately getting offended and angry. One of my biggest problems is that I let people talk a lot of smack to me, you know, like if you've been around me, I let people get away with a lot when it comes to speaking to me. But it's because normally I'm taking it in and I'm listening, and I'm like, why would you think that? Why would you say that? Why would you this, that? But anyway, I digress. And this person was, and it stuck with them. And in my opinion, like, I don't know anyone else's heart. Again, it's all about, you know, self-love. I don't think this person introspected enough, in my opinion. I don't think that they like really thought to themselves, is this how I behave, and why would this person say this, and is this a pattern of behavior that I've been exhibiting for this person to say this? I say all of that to say this, right? Self-awareness will stop you from feeling some type of way. And as I've been going through these ups and downs, especially this big down that really sent me back here, I look back and I think to myself, man, how embarrassing. I had no self-awareness. Again, I'm not a perfect person. I'm not anything. I'm not the prize, you know, as people like to say. But I do have some confidence, you know. I have some self-esteem, and I know what it is that I offer. I'm a fiercely loyal individual who'll do anything for the people that he loves, you know. I will be there for you at 1 a.m. I will be your biggest cheerleader. I will be I will try my best to be the superhero to try fix any problem you have, you know. I will love anyone around me more than anyone else will love them, and I'm fully aware of the fact that I don't always show that, you know, and that's always been my problem in friendships, relationships, wherever it is. People don't believe that because I'm not always running around like, oh my word, everything about you is awesome, you know. Like, I keep it very, you know, I can act very nonchalant, and that's not good, because then it leaves people to be confused and think, oh, this guy doesn't really care. And the truth is that I really do care. And the situation that unfolded, it was me really trying to exhibit that, like exhibit the fact that I've had growth, I've learned lessons along this life thing that we live, and I'm willing to learn more lessons, And at the end of it, when it was all kind of thrown back in my face, it really sent me on a spiral, because it made me question my self-awareness. Like, I think ultimately there was a big question on my self-awareness. Like, there's always been a piece of me that doubts myself, and that exacerbated it horrifically. I spoke about that like in one other Let's Chat, where there are always those one or two people in your life that can send you, everything you know about yourself, you will re-question. And that was that situation for me. Like, it was a big compounding effect of everything else that's going on in my life. But what I failed to realize in myself was self-awareness. And I am, again, so grateful for this little forum and the people around me. I mean, I could list everyone, but the people around me, like, it actually makes me feel some type of way. People around me have had my interests at heart. They've told me where I've been wrong, which to me is the most important thing. They've told me where I've been right, and they've been honest. They haven't given me rubbish advice. They try to understand who I am, because I spend my time trying to understand who they are, because that's what I enjoy doing. I love knowing the people around me and helping them be self-aware, because if we're all self-aware, then bloody hell, And they call me out. Like, I'm accountable to the people around me. They call me out every single day. Every day when I'm whining and complaining and moaning, they remind me, get to work, get yourself an AP, but remember to love yourself always. I don't know how many times I've been told by the people around me that I need to love myself more. And yeah, I could go on and on and on and on and on and on about how grateful I am for the people around me, because they really have been there for me. But neither here nor there. Self-awareness in all of this has been key, and it's been key to my road to like feeling good about myself. Do I still feel like I miss situations and I miss things and people and all of that? Of course.
I'm crying. Behind these glasses, there is a human being.
The matters of the heart are illogical. I've said it before. Like, emotions are illogical, right? You know something's bad for you, but you want it. You want it more than you want your next breath. And it's illogical. You know the situation, person, thing is bad for you, but you just want to feel what you felt once upon a time in that situation or with that person, whatever it is. That's not what I'm saying here. But what you always have to do is have self-awareness. Self-awareness in yourself to know, I am worthy of more. And I am not very good at saying that about myself. It's like an ongoing theme in my life. Why do you not feel like you're worthy of love? And I don't know. I don't know what the answer there is. Why do you not feel like you're worthy of more? Why do you feel like this is the best you can get? Right? In a business context, I know that I can do and achieve anything. In a charity context, I know I can give as much more love than anyone else on this earth, right? But when it comes to people in my life, right, I'm so willing to accept the bare minimum. And people are always asking me, why do you feel like you are not worthy of true love? And I'm getting to a point now where I'm self-aware to know that I'm worthy of receiving what I'm willing to give. And if other people are not willing to see that or accept that, then I need to learn how to just draw a line in the sand and say, this is done. And it's challenging when you're lonely and you just want to be wanted, and we've spoken about this before. It's really difficult to separate the good from the bad when you've just had years and years of just accepting not to say that I've never been loved in a romantic context or like a friendship context or a family context. That's not what I'm saying. I've felt it. I've known it. You know what I mean? I've known it. I've known it. I know what love looks like. So why am I not willing to set the bar there? And even if it's from the same people who gave it to you, let that go and look for new people who will give you that same love. There's a whole other conversation to be had about that. But yeah, internet friends, I digress and I'll go on and on. All I'm saying is that be very, 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 very truthful and honest with yourself. Be willing to learn always. Be willing to accept where you are wrong. I struggle with that horrifically. People in my life will tell you that. But I'm willing to try each and every day. And I know what I bring in certain situations, and I know what I don't bring. And I'm trying to work on the things that I don't bring. And I'm not perfect, but I'm flipping trying, and I promise you I'm trying harder than
last time.
There's one thing I can tell you, and one day I'll be able to sit here and tell you guys that in all areas of my life, am trying to accept the love that I deserve and set boundaries on that. One day I'll be able to say that. But until then, what are your thoughts, opinions, and everything? Thank you all again for the support. I really appreciate it. Until next time, remember, jeepers, okay? Remember to love life and all the people in it we're living.